Hola, estudiantes. We are going to go over the class expectations. You know them as champs, but I have them here in Spanish for you. Let's go over conversación, conversation. Mostly, if you'll notice, if you go across the board, it's going to be quite quiet. If you're doing solo work or working on the computer, you'll of course be at a level 0. There might be a time where you might need to confer or ask for help. In that case, you might be at a whisper, but mostly you'll be at a level 0. Now, when I'm presenting new materials to you, of course, you'll be at a level 0. You'll be listening to whoever's speaking. Sometimes other people will be speaking, so you'll be listening to them so that when you're speaking, people will listen to you. When we are working in small groups, your voice level will be quiet. It'll be like a 1 or a 2. A 1 is just like a whisper. It's something you don't want me to hear about. It's a secret. A voice level 2 is just a quiet voice, maybe that only 1 or 2 people can hear. All right, we're going to be doing some storytelling and some class chat. In that case, when I call on you, you're going to have to speak loud enough for the entire class to hear you, which is about a level 2 or 3. I think that I'm speaking at about a level 2 right now. When we take tests or quizzes, you will of course be at a level 0. We will be doing games so that we can learn, and you are going to be only speaking about about the game itself. And we're going to be using inside voices and not shouting or getting overexcited and so loud that other classes complain. Now let's talk about the H. Hacer preguntas if you need help. If you're doing solo work or working on a computer, you may ask the person next to you. You will be given a partner and you will know who you can ask. Now, sometimes they don't know either, and in which case you will need to raise your hand and then be patient and wait for me to come to you. For working with your pairs, you're going to raise your hand and ask your teacher, but you're going to keep working. So generally, if you and your partner don't know the answer, that's when you're going to call on me. Okay. Now, when we do our storytelling and I'm speaking to you only in Spanish and you're not really sure what I'm saying, go ahead and just raise your hand. Another thing that we can do is if something is completely you don't have any understanding for, you can use this signal. It's going way over your head, and then I will know that I need to go back and explain that a little bit better. If you need to ask a question, hacer una pregunta, you may raise your hand and whisper that question to me when we are taking a test. So that question you will ask in a level 1 voice, which is a whisper. Okay, because sometimes you're going to be asking me a question which may give the answer to the other class members. So that's why I need you to whisper, and I will whisper back to you and give you as much help as I can so that you can be successful. When we're doing games, you're working on a game or doing some brain breaks, if you need to ask a question, you will raise your hand, and if it's appropriate, you can just come up to me and ask me the question yourself. All right, actividad. What should you be doing? What activity should you be doing? When you are doing solo work, you're going to finish to the best of your ability. You're going to make the corrections as needed, and you're not going to be a distraction to others. If I am presenting to you, then you will take notes. If I make a hand gesture that I need you to come back and do the same thing, you will follow along. If we are reading, that's your activity. When you are working with a small group or your partner, the activity that you will be doing is completing your task. You'll be working responsibly with another individual. You will help them out. You'll stay on task. If you are doing storytelling or class chat, you will listen for understanding. And you will do the classroom jobs that are applicable to you. Again, if you do not understand, you can make that gesture that is going way over your head, and I will help you out. When we're doing tests and quizzes, the activity that you will do is you will finish your test. It's usually on the computer, and if it is on the computer, you will either go to Duolingo, Free Rice, and maybe some other tabs that I may give you. And you will work quietly until everybody else is done. If we are doing games and a brain break, your activity is to be a good sport. Follow instructions and be quick about it so we don't waste our time. I'm going to have to move this little block so we can keep moving down the line here. Movimiento, you know that means movement. You will remain seated if you are doing solo work. If you need to sharpen your pencil, I understand that happens. You may get up, you don't even have to ask me, but if you already see somebody at the pencil sharpener, I suggest that you wait until they are finished before you get up to use this as a pencil sharpener as well. If I am presenting, you need to stay seated so that you're not a distraction to the materials that I am given. Especially if I am speaking to you or if someone is speaking to you, then you should have your shoulders facing them. Wherever it is they are, you will face them. That is the movement that you will be doing. If we're working in pairs, if I'm asking you to work with a partner, then I need you to move quickly as directed so we don't waste time. Sometimes you'll be moving chairs around, so be sure that you're following those directions as quickly as you can. When I'm doing a story chat with you or storytelling or a class chat, you will track the speaker. Again, with your shoulders, wherever it is they're going, you're going to follow with your shoulders. You will have your lap and your tabletop empty. You're not going to be fidgeting with something at the time. If we are doing a test or a quiz, you just can't get up at all without permission. For example, if you have to go to the bathroom, your pencil needs sharpening, you'll need to just remain seated. If you need me, of course, go back up to hacer preguntas to find out what you need to do. Raise your hand. Okay, if we're doing games or doing a brain break, you'll of course not be horse playing, doing things that would be dangerous or knock things over or knock people over. Be respectful of our classroom materials. All right, so now we're down to participation. What is the required? You are going to be on task and focused. Sorry, I lost you there. Here we go. I'm trying to get rid of that bottom bar. I'm not as techie as I should be. One of you will teach me. I know you will. I don't know what to do to get rid of that. All right, so you will be on task and focused. If you are doing solo work, there, it went away. You will be the computer only on the assignment that you've been given. That's the participation I'm looking for. Teacher, if I'm presenting to you some new material, your participation is that you've got to be focused. You've got to be listening and engaged, being ready to reply, to repeat. If you are working with a partner, you will work together. You will take turns. You will help each other. You'll be kind to one another. If you are if we're doing a storytell in class or a class chat, you will answer the questions, contribute ideas, help us out. You'll play the game. If I say, oh, here we are, I have my little frog with me, it's going to be a little frog in my hand, and you're just going to play along that is my frog. If we're doing tests and quizzes, your participation is that your eyes are on your own screen. And your test needs to be in language number 2. Language 2 is the Spanish that we are working on. And so if you see that your test has come up with English questions and English answers, you need to raise your hand and let me know so I can help you fix that. Because if you take a test that should be in Spanish, if you take it in English, it's the same as a 0. Now, the last one is games and brain breaks. What participation am I requiring from you? That you do participate. It's not a choice. It's not I don't want to play that game. The only reason we're playing a game is to teach. So those are going to be your class champs, the regulations and rules of our class. And if we can do that, we will have success in Spanish.